Hello. So today we are going to discuss about posture. Now, most of us are guilty of this. We have a bad posture because of our sedentary lives. We sit in front of a laptop with our spine bent and, more importantly, our chest positioned in a concave manner like this, whether it be the laptop or the mobile phone. And this is not our fault because our jobs and our sedentary lives force us to adopt this position for on a continual basis. So our body has no choice but to adapt all our different body parts to maintain this position for a long time. It is almost a form of evolution. We are forced to adopt this position. So the thing is, when you compare this with army personnel, they are always, when you in a crowd, if you see someone standing erect, you know that guy's got some army background, even if it's a retired colonel. Why? It's because they've been trained from the start to stand with the chest upright day in and day out without moving in attention. So that obviously will shape the body in a different way. So since we are already without a choice forced to put our body in this position, we need to do some counter movements to firstly undo the effects of this posture, and secondly remind our body that that is not the posture that we want an erect posture. So we need to do double, more than what the army people need to do. Well, that's too much of an extreme, but still I'm just giving you an idea as to what needs to be done to correct our posture. So this session we're going to explore a whole bunch of exercises and stretches and asanas to help us in this manner. So before we go into the exercises and the asanas, we first have to understand our chest region. Our chest region is composed of three major parts. The first part is the shoulders, which houses our deltoid muscles. Then we have the central part of the chest, which is the pectoral muscles. And then finally, we've got the rib cage, which has tiny muscles in between each rib called the intercostal muscles, which all work as a unit to help us breathe. Now our job is to stretch and strengthen all these parts of the chest so that we can achieve the chest expansion that we require to counter all the ills of our bad posture. So one of the major reasons why I like doing exercises or stretches that focus on a particular body that we are going to concentrate on later on in our asanas is because I want the body to be fully open and stretched out prior to doing the asanas rather than it getting stretched out while doing the asanas, because I believe an asana in yoga affects our body in a physiological level, in a psychological level, in a physical level, in a mental level, and a spiritual level. It works on a multitude of layers on our body. And if we are to get the entire benefit of it, we have to make sure that our body is open completely to it. So that is why I have come up with a bunch of stretches that we will be doing next to open up our body for the chest opening asanas. So before we start our stretches, first we have to find ourselves a nice sturdy grill like this. Doesn't even have to be full length, it can be only half length. And what we're going to do is that we're going to use this grill to get the maximum benefit of the stretch as opposed to doing it on a stationary basis. Okay? But however, before you go into this, I urge you to first warm up your body with normal joint movements, simple joint movements. Okay? So first off, we're going to start off with mobilizing our shoulders lightly. What we're going to do is we're going to bend both our elbows and stick them onto a horizontal part of the bar, which is at shoulder level. Put your palms on the back of your head and go all the way down. You can take a few steps back if you want, and curve your spine and stretch the shoulders. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we're going to follow through with that stretch for the shoulder. We're going to turn around. We're going to grab the same grill that we supported our elbows on. And with both hands, you grabbed it. Now what you're supposed to do is take a few steps forward as much as you can until you can feel the top of your shoulders touch the back of your head. You can feel the pull on the shoulders. You can try to push it some more if you want. Once you reach the limit, stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, let's just mobilize our pectoral muscles. Okay? So for that, what we are going to do is we're going to stretch it out. So grab the horizontal part of the grill, which is at shoulder level, and turn as much as you can till you can feel a good stretch from your shoulder till the pectoral muscles, okay? So you can even go past the parallel line and turn in the opposite, towards the other side as well, as long as you get that maximum stretch here. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then let's do the same thing on the other side. Turning. Get the maximum stretch that you can. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now that we've worked on our shoulders and our chest, let's go and stretch all of them together in unison. I call this the Indian terrain man stretch because there's a clothesline called Indian terrain that has a similar pose. So take your hand and you can choose the topmost bar or the lower bar, whichever is more comfortable for you. The higher the bar, the more stronger the stretch will be. And put your feet against the wall if your grill is not full length, or support yourself on the grill and let the body go. Let the body weight do its job. Feel the stretch. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we have stretched our shoulders, our pecs, and combined we've stretched our entire chest area. Let's now concentrate on the rib cage or the intercostal muscles. What we're going to do is we're going to hold the topmost grill here. So ordinarily, if you want to stretch this, you just have to let your body weight sink down and you can feel a stretch here. But if you want to take that stretch a little further, what you can do is the leg that's facing the grill, you can take it as back as you can. Okay? And maybe you can even take the grill lower so that you can get a good curve all the way from here till here. And just let gravity do its work and feel that stretch. You can feel it all the way till the hip and the upper thigh. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's try to do the same thing on the other side. So same thing, grab the same grill. The leg that's facing the grill, put it all the way back as much as you can. So you can see you get that curve, that arc over here. Go all the way down. Oh yeah, stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With that, we have mobilized and stretched and left nothing to chance in missing anything from the asanas. It's all fully open. I'm already feeling energized because along with the muscles, the fascia also that is enveloping all the muscles are stretched nicely, and fascia have more nerve endings than the muscles. So that is the sense of relief that you get, relief and exhilaration that you get when you do stretch a joint properly. It's the nerve endings of the fascia that give you that sensory perception. So that finishes our stretches. We can move on to the asana now. So now that we are properly stretched, let us begin with the asanas. Let's start off with the basic asana that every sequence has to start off with, which is Balasana, where we surrender to the sequence and let go of our ego and all our troubles behind before we start. Stay in this pose, breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. Stay in this pose, stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And with that, let us come up to tabletop pose or Marjari Asana. Make sure your palms are below your shoulders and your knees are below your hips. We're going to go into cat-cow position. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Make sure the muscles under your scapula are stretching nicely. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Finally, inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And with that, we are done with tabletop. Now, let us stretch our hand all the way up and thread the needle and go all the way down. Make sure you give a nice twist to your lower back. And while you're in this position, please raise your index finger and tap that like button for this video. You can even raise your left hand all the way up to intensify the stretch. And stick your index finger and click the subscribe button while you're at it as well. It will really help the channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so that you're notified every time I post a new video. And with that, the pose is over. Let's get back to the base position. Left hand all the way to the top. Thread the needle, go all the way down. And right hand up. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to tabletop pose. Next we go into my favorite asana, which is the Anahata pose. Anahata is the heart chakra. You basically make sure your hips are above your knees and stretch all the way such that your chin touches the ground. If you're really flexible, you can even get your chest to touch the ground. This really opens up the chest and opens up your heart chakra. Stay in this pose for some time. You can feel the lower back and the upper back get bent nicely, and your thorax, your diaphragm also gets expanded in this pose. Stay 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With that, you can feel a good expansion and release in your chest cavity. Next, let us go into some twisting asanas. I'll just face this side so that the sun gives a better angle. With both our legs extended, fold the right leg and keep it beside the left knee in this manner. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our left hand, wrap it around our right knee, and put our right hand all the way back and give yourself a nice stretch. Keep looking back. Stay in this position. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This asana is really good for activating your abdominal area. All the organs get stimulated in this manner. Same thing, fold your left leg, place it beside your right knee, wrap your right hand all around your left knee, turn all the way back, stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, let us further open up our chest. Let's sit in Virasana or Vajrasana, where your heels are tucked underneath you. Virasana is when your heels are not tucked underneath you, it is on the side. Sit in Virasana. Interlock your fingers and stretch all the way up. And feel your pecs, your deltoids, your abs, everything gets stretched all together. Hold here. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go and do the same thing in the back part. Interlock your fingers. Stretch all the way back. Make sure your fist is touching the ground. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With that, we have opened our chest nicely. Now let's go into the lying down poses. We're going to start off with Sedu Bandhasana. Bend both your knees. Make sure you're holding your ankles and raise your upper body as much as you can. Make sure your chest and your chin are in contact. Forgive my speech. Step 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that down. Next, let's finally, in the last pose, intensify the stretch by including the entire body. We're going to stretch all the way from our quadriceps to our shoulders, all the way. This is Chakrasana. Let's put both our hands beside our ears in this manner. And stretch all the way up. Those who wish to do so can straighten their legs as much as they can to get a more compression on the upper back. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that, the entire part of the front part of the body has been stretched nicely. And you can close it off with resting in Shavasana for a couple of minutes. And with that, we are done. So yeah, that concludes our chest opening sequence. It was really refreshing, and I hope you all give it a try. Let me know in the comments how you thought it worked out, and any suggestions or even criticisms are welcome. So I hope to see you in the next one. The next one's going to be very interesting. It's hip opening. That is where we've got most of our negative emotions trapped in there, and I'm going to show you a bunch of stretches and exercises and asanas that will help you release all that. So until the next time, I'll see you. Take care. Bye.